Now, if you're one of the millions of passengers who use the tube or trains each day, you might see some poetry on your journey. Poems on the Underground began in 1986 and a new set of poems have been released today to passengers to enjoy. Bryony Williams went to Covent Garden to find out more.
The winter light was still to hit the window and all my other selves were still asleep.
This poem is called February Morning. It's one of 6 featured in the latest series of poems on the Underground.
It's to do with the early days of young fatherhood and a poem about trying to get him to sleep and thinking about the impact he's already had on my life.
And how did you find out that your poem had been picked?
It was a complete surprise. I mean, and there's no better thing in art than surprise. So I got the email explaining that it's going to be part of this fine initiative, and to be honest, I just couldn't believe it, really.
The aim of the featured poems is to bring inspiration to the millions of people who use the London Overground and Underground network across London.
About 40 years ago, I wrote to the London Underground, the manager, whoever that might be, asking if they would like to have some poems on the empty advertising spaces. To my amazement, they were very much interested.
I'm on the Victoria line going southbound, and this is one of the poems. It's Love by George Herbert. But how much do people who use the network really take notice of what's in these advertising spaces?
Do you look at the advertisement spaces?
No.
What do you do when you're on the commute?
Look at my phone.
I do when I'm not looking at my phone, and I do like the poems.
Green Park.
The founders of Poems on the Underground select literature and submit it to Transport for London, who have the final say over which poems are picked. This series' theme is New Life and New Beginnings, offering the reader a window of escapism.
Poetry and art is so much of what we go to when we're struggling with, I don't know, the world around us, and it makes, for me at least, it's a way of understanding what's going on and making sense of things.
If you're travelling through the capital and do want to read the verses, they're featured on various tubes and trains for the next 4 weeks. Bryony Williams, BBC London.